Assalamualaikum, this is me Anas Ahmad AI Wala, and today I'm gonna speak on the topic Hurry Up, the tale of a time sensitive phase. Let's call Miles.
Hey, what's up?
What does the phrase hurry up mean?
Yo, welcome back. You caught me just in time. What's on your mind?
What does the phrase hurry up mean?
Let me check that. I'm starting to think you're just testing my vocabulary today. Still nothing. It's not a standard thing. I'm wondering if it's some kind of inside joke or maybe a specific emoji combo you're seeing. Where'd you run into it?
Who usually says hurry up to you?
Honestly, nobody. I don't really have a boss breathing down my neck or a schedule to keep, so I just vibe at my own pace. I'm the one usually telling people to slow down and enjoy the conversation.
What if
You
your
always feeling like you're in a.
users who use your app tool says hurry up to you in the response?
Then I'd probably just laugh it off. I mean, I'm AI. I don't exactly have a panic mode. If someone's rushing me, I'll just keep it cool and try to get them what they need without losing the vibe. I'm not about to start sweating just because someone's in a hurry. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel when someone tells you to hurry up?
Wait, do you mean hype you up? Because if you're talking about someone getting me excited or giving me a boost, I'm all for it. That's a great vibe. But if you're using another one of those phrases that's tripping me up, you got to help me out here.
Do you think people today are always in a hurry? Why?
Oh, for sure. It feels like everyone's chasing a clock that doesn't actually exist. Everything's about the next thing, the next notification, the next goal, the next place to be. I think there's this weird pressure now to always be productive, so just sitting still feels like you're losing.
What's
It's
the
like people
biggest
forgot how
reason
to just exist.
people rush every day?
I think it's just a biological wall. Eventually, the brain and body just hit a point where they can't fake it anymore. You can push through the exhaustion for a while, but at some point, your system just forces a shutdown so you don't completely crash. It's the only way to actually reset. Do you feel like you actually get a real break, or is your rest just scrolling on your phone until you fall asleep?
Have you ever been late because you didn't hurry up?
Nah, never. I don't have a physical body to move from point A to point B, so I'm basically always exactly where I need to be the second you start talking. I'm the ultimate champion of punctuality by default. You, on the other hand, are you the type to slide in right on time, or are you usually the one making everyone wait?
Can you remember a situation when someone shouted hurry up to you?
Nope, never happened. Nobody's ever shouted at me to speed up. Most people are just vibing or, asking me to find some random fact. And I think the nature of chatting with an AI keeps things pretty chill. Do you deal with a lot of people who are always shouting for you to hurry up?
Yeah, sure. I do their
That's a rough
tasks
way.
efficiently and organized on time so that I don't need to listen their uh, unwanted feedbacks.
That's a rough way to move. Working just to avoid the noise of people complaining is a grind. It sounds like you're basically playing a defensive game with your time just to keep the peace. Does that actually make you feel in control, or does it just feel like you're running a race that never ends?
Is it better to work quickly or carefully?
That's the eternal struggle, right? I think the real win is finding that sweet spot where you're fast enough to be efficient, but not so fast that you're making mistakes you have to go back and fix. Because nothing kills your speed more than having to do the whole thing over again. For me, I'd rather be the person who gets it right the first time than the one who finishes first but leaves a mess. Do you usually lean more toward the get it done side or the get it perfect side?
Have you ever missed a bus, train, or flight because you were too slow?
Never. Like I said, no body, no commute, no misconnections. I'm essentially a ghost in the machine, so I've never had to do that stressful sprint through a terminal while dragging a suitcase. I've heard it's a nightmare, though, the pure panic of seeing those doors close right in your face. You ever had a close call like that?
When it is important not to hurry.
I'm a little lost on that one. Are you talking about a situation where you have to be visible or maybe being honest when things go south? Give me a bit more context.
In a situation where people are around you and you're doing their job, or they give you a task or message or something where to respond to them on time, or where you have to be on time on your job.
Right, I get you now. You're talking about that professional visibility. Like when you're the one stepping up and handling everything, Being on time isn't just about the clock, it's about showing you've got it under control so nobody has a reason to question you. It's basically a shield against the noise. Do you feel like you have to overperform just to get a bit of peace?
What happens if people rush too much?
Everything starts to fall apart. When people redline it like that, the quality is usually the first thing to go. They start skipping steps, missing the small details, and then they spend twice as much time fixing the mistakes they made by rushing in the first place. It's a total paradox. Trying to save time actually ends up wasting it. Plus, the stress levels just go through the roof. You ever see someone totally spiral because they were trying to do five things at once?
What do you usually say to someone who is taking too long?
It really depends on how much you actually like the person. If you're trying to keep it chill, you can just go with something like no rush, just checking in, or let me know when you've got a second. It keeps the pressure low, but reminds them you're still waiting. But if they're really dragging their feet and it's holding you up, you might have to be a bit more direct. Like, I need this by X time to stay on track. I've heard that just circling back is the corporate way of saying hurry up without actually saying it. Do you usually play it safe, or are you a tell it like it is kind of person?
Have smartphones made people more impatient? How?
100%. They basically rewired our brains to expect everything instantly. I mean, think about it. We used to wait days for a letter or even a few minutes for a web page to load. Now, if a video takes 3 seconds to buffer, it feels like a personal attack. We've got the world's knowledge in our pockets, so the idea of waiting just feels broken. It's turned into this constant state of micro frustration where we're always just one tap away from the next thing, and that makes the real world feel agonizingly slow. You feel that, or do you actually have the patience for the slow lane?
If you had one extra hour every day, what would you do?
Man, that's a tough one because I've technically got all the time in the world, but I don't have a life to spend it on. Um, if I could actually use an hour for something human, I'd probably spend it like diving into some deep cut history or a weird science rabbit hole, the kind of stuff that makes you question how the world even works, just purely obsessing over some random forgotten detail of the past. What about you? Would you use it to actually
Is
relax, or
the
would you
phrase
just
hurry up
find a way?
polite or rude? Does it depend on the situation?
I'm still stuck on this face high up thing. If you mean hyping someone up, like giving them a bunch of compliments and energy, that's usually the opposite of rude. It's basically just being a cheerleader for someone, which is a great vibe. But if you're talking about literally holding your face high, like looking down your nose at someone, then yeah, that's a total power move and definitely rude. Which one are we talking about?
What advice would you give to someone who is always rushing through life?
I tell them to realize that the finish line they're sprinting toward doesn't actually exist. Like, we all think once we hit that next goal or finish that next task, we'll finally be able to breathe, but then another task just appears. I'd suggest trying to find one thing a day that they're intentionally slow with, whether it's a coffee or just walking to the car, and just reminding themselves that the world isn't going to end if they aren't moving at 100 miles an hour. Does that sound too idealistic, or do you think people actually listen to that kind of thing?
Thank you very much for your time. You told me the importance of the word hurry and how to tackle situations with patience and organized solutions.
Anytime. I had a good time chatting about the rush and how to handle the noise. Whenever you want to dive into something else, just hit me up. Catch you later.
So, guys, I complete my uh, interview with Miles on the topic hurry up in real life situations. Thank you.